Ready to dive into something heavy?
Always up for that.
This time we're taking a deep dive into the world of Sunoculus. Ever heard of them?
Oh, yeah. They're really something else. Blending brutal metal, hardcore, even a little funk in there.
And they're messing around with AI for some of their audio, right?
Yeah, which is unexpected, but it really works. It's like they're not afraid to experiment with anything.
Makes you wonder what they'll come up with next. But before we get ahead of ourselves, what I find really fascinating about Sunoculus is how they blend all these different metal subgenres.
Totally. You'll hear some technical death metal, then bam, a little thrash metal polka out of nowhere.
Polka? With an accordion, seriously?
Seriously, and a hurdy-gurdy too. They're not afraid to use instruments you wouldn't normally associate with metal.
Talk about pushing creative limits. Okay, let's talk about these lyrics, man. Intense is an understatement. We're talking battling societal control. Battling, well, diarrhea. Battling your own inner demons. It's a lot.
A lot to unpack, that's for sure. And the style is all over the place, too. Abstract, darkly poetic, avant-garde, cryptic, layered. It's like trying to decipher a dream after a night of headbanging.
And speaking of headbanging, you can find all of Sunoculus's music at cybermetalradio.com. It's where you want to be for the latest in Web3 metal.
Absolutely. But yeah, the lyrics are definitely not your typical metalcore screaming. I mean, you really have to listen to fully appreciate the depth and complexity.
Totally agree. You pick up on something new with every listen. So what are some of the recurring themes we're seeing in Sunoculus's work?
Well, like you were saying, there's a lot about battling societal control. Common Core Carnage is a prime example.
Oh man, that one is brutal.
Yeah, it's full of this raw frustration and anger towards, like, the education system and how it can crush creativity.
And musically, it's spot on. The way they use these almost mechanical riffs to represent that feeling of being trapped in the system. Brilliant.
Exactly. Then you've got Weird AI versus the music industry, which is a completely different vibe. It pits AI and Weird Al Yankovic against a creatively bankrupt music industry, and it's set to this thrash metal polka beat. You wouldn't think an accordion could sound heavy, but trust me.
It absolutely works. Pure genius.
And speaking of genius, Schizophrenic Terminator, just wow.
That title alone should give you a good idea of what you're in for. But musically, it's on another level.
It's got these frantic vocals, crushing riffs, and this unsettling atmosphere that just sticks with you long after the song is over.
It's not just about a killer robot, though, right? There's more to it than that.
Oh, absolutely. It's about the fragmentation of identity, the blurring of lines between humanity and technology, the terrifying possibilities of artificial intelligence.
Heavy stuff.
No kidding. And they explore those themes of feeling trapped and manipulated in anti-pattern, too. It's brutal.
Yeah, that one hits you right in the gut, musically and lyrically.
It's a roller coaster for sure. Crushing breakdowns, then those almost melodic interludes, back to the brutality. It's a wild ride.
And the way they build that sonic world around the theme, it's like you're right there with them, feeling that sense of claustrophobia and desperation.
For sure. Like, Sunoculus definitely isn't afraid to explore those darker emotions. Perpetual Penitence is another one that comes to mind. So brutal, almost relentless, but there's this underlying reflection on cyclical pain and self-loathing that makes you stop and think.
It's like they're giving a voice to those feelings of despair and hopelessness that, let's face it, we all experience at some point. Makes you feel a little less alone, you know?
Totally. But it's definitely not a comfortable listen. And speaking of uncomfortable, have you heard Circadian Extinction yet? Talk about unsettling.
Yeah, that one gets under your skin.
Yeah.
The whole sleep equals annihilation thing is just intense.
Right. They take the whole existential dread of insomnia and just crank it up to 11. The music is amazing, though. Those futuristic classical guitars. Haunting.
And the soundscape. It's like it's burrowing into your brain. So good. But you want to talk intense. How about a technical death metal song about dot particle physics?
Leptogenesis, right. I mean, who does that? Only Sunoculus.
You're trying to headbang and wrap your head around the origins of the universe at the same time.
It's a trip, for sure. Shows you the depth of their thinking, though. They're not just writing about the same old metal tropes.
Which is what makes their music so interesting. They can go from battling diarrhea one song to exploring the origins of the universe the next and make it all work. It's pretty credible when you think about it.
Totally. And you know what's cool? For all the darkness and intensity in their music, there's also this, I don't know, this glimmer of hope. Or maybe just this refusal to completely give in to despair.
You're right. It's there for sure. Entheogenesis, maybe.
Yeah, that's the one. It's like a psychedelic, potentially even divine experience set to music. dissonance, layered rhythms. It's like being thrown into a spiritual washing machine.
But then those moments of transcendent beauty come in, and it's like everything clicks into place. Amazing how they do that. Okay, but we got to talk about console wars. Because, come on, a rap battle between a Nintendo fan and a Sega fan.
It's pure fun. You can tell they're just having a blast with it. And those 8-bit sound effects, nostalgia overload.
Right, and they still manage to work in some hardcore metal riffs and breakdowns. It's insane. Like, who else could pull that off?
Only Sunoculus. And then you've got Blockbeard's legacy. Like, what happens when pirate metal meets blockchain technology? That's what.
Epic pirate metal riffs. Lyrics about crypto pirates sailing the digital seas, mining for Bitcoin. It's bonkers.
Don't forget the hurdy-gurdy. Talk about an unexpected choice, but it totally works. Adds this whole medieval mystical layer to a song about cutting-edge tech. Genius.
It perfectly captures what makes Sunoculus so unique. I mean, they're pulling from everywhere. Different genres, different ideas, different corners of their imagination. And somehow they blend it all together seamlessly.
And at the heart of it all is this dedication to pushing boundaries. They're not afraid to experiment, to take risks, to see what happens when you throw everything at the wall and crank the volume to 11.
It's like they're throwing everything into a sonic blender and hitting liquefy.
And somehow it always comes out sounding amazing. But, you know, we've been talking about all these different elements of their music.
Right.
But we haven't really touched on the whole Web3 metal thing. And it's definitely there in their music.
Big time. Especially on tracks like The Key and Forever Token. So, for people who haven't fully dived into the Web3 metal scene yet...
Still pretty new, right?
Yeah. What would you say makes it different from, say, your classic thrash metal or death metal?
Well, you can definitely hear those classic influences, but there's this whole other layer of, I don't know, digital consciousness. Like, it's metal for the blockchain generation.
And you can find a ton of great Web3 metal, Sunoculus included, over at cybermetalradio.com, by the way.
Best place to be for the cutting edge of heavy music.
Absolutely. But yeah, Web3 metal. It's about decentralization, transparency, the potential for disruption.
Yeah.
All those big ideas swirling around blockchain technology.
And Sunoculus gets that. They're not just blindly praising technology. They're using their music to examine it, to question it.
Our Violent Code is a great example of that. It's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
But then they work in those funky elements, and it becomes this whole commentary on the decentralized rage and disruption that blockchain represents.
Like they're not afraid to explore the dark side of technology.
Exactly. And that's what makes their music so compelling. They're not giving you easy answers. They're making you think, making you question, making you confront some uncomfortable truths about the world and our place in it.
All set to some of the most creative, boundary-pushing metal out there.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So look, if you're tired of the same old metal tropes, if you're ready for something that will challenge you as much as it melts your face off,
dive into the sonic world of Sunoculus.
You can find their music on cybermetalradio.com, along with a ton of other artists who are pushing the boundaries of heavy music.